What it do, Ramblin'? It's your boy Nickoli. We riding with the Rams today. Last night, Matthew Stafford made his highly anticipated debut with the Los Angeles Rams live in front of America, and boy did he deliver. My guy lived up to the hype. Granted, it was just one game, so we don't want to get too carried away with ourselves. No need to get into all the stats because I'm sure I'm not breaking any news here, and I'm sure everybody's seen the highlights if they didn't watch the game, and everybody's at least checked out the box score by now. The Rams just put it on the Bears last night. It was a slow start, but once things got slow start defensively, but the game went exactly how I saw it. I predicted it. I mentioned this in the preview yesterday whenever I dropped my preview for the game. I said that the Rams' best plan of attack is going to be through the air. They just have to protect Matthew Stafford from Khalil Mack and that pass rush. Because there's holes all over that secondary. It's unproven. And I also said that running the ball was not going to be the Rams' best play to attack this defense. I wasn't expecting a big ground attack. Maybe towards the end, after the defense was wore down, and that's exactly what happened. And for the most part, the offensive line, they held up. They gave Matthew Stafford enough time. I mean, he didn't have a lot of plays. I mean, only 26 pass attempts. But my guy got his touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. And that's exactly how the Rams did it. Everybody got a chance. Tyler Higbee was getting involved. Cooper Kupp was making plays. Robert Woods caught a touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, and of course, Van Jefferson. How many people are surprised that Van Jefferson was the one that caught the first big bomb on the second snap from scrimmage for Matthew Stafford? And I know a lot of people right now, and during the game last night, were a little uneasy with the Rams defense, especially early on, with the way that they were staying at the Chicago Bears were able to stay ahead of schedule. They were able to pick up good yards on first and second down, and they were constantly converting third downs, steadily getting into the Rams' side of the field every time they got the ball. The Bears punted one time in this game. And I'm not worried about that. Is it a bend no break philosophy? And maybe not. Because I hope not, because those types of defenses depend on turnovers. You're going to rely on turnovers that way because you're going to be constantly giving up field goal attempts in that case at the very minimum. But an offense like the Chicago Bears, who's not very good, with Andy Dalton at quarterback, not even Justin Fields, who we did see score a touchdown in this game. And a lot of Rams fans aren't feeling too confident about that. But let me tell you why this is not something to be too concerned with. This was the first game of the season. The Rams starters have not played any preseason games and haven't had any truly real live reps against an opponent. Because when they're out there in training camp and practice, sure, they're tackling and stuff like that, but they're taking it easy. They're pulling up. They're not trying to hurt their own guys. They're not trying to hurt themselves. And the coaches are stopping plays early when they're in control of the situation, like they are in those controlled settings. Therefore, the tackling takes a hit. And that was the biggest issue for the Rams last night. They were getting penetration. They just weren't able to tackle. They weren't getting guys to the ground. Chicago Bears were bouncing off of defenders, even Aaron Donald. So if the first guy, which we are so accustomed to seeing with the Rams, if the first guy made the tackle, like you see Jalen Ramsey doing every time he hit somebody, the Bears would have been shut down a lot early and often in this game. But aside from a few plays where the O-line just gashed them and Montgomery was able to get some holes. But for the most part, the secondary played well. They just kind of kept everything in front of them, and that's what they made the Bears do. They made them have to earn their way down the field, and they did, but mostly due to the tackling, or the lack thereof. But I predicted this game to be 31-13. You can go back and watch my game preview if you want to. So, I mean, I expected the Bears to get 3 scores, which is 3 drives down at least in scoring range. That would have been 2 field goals and a touchdown if they would have gotten 13. But they ended up with 2 touchdowns in this game. And the Rams ended up with 34 points. So, I mean, I was close. I knew the Rams were going to have to attack through the air and not really on the ground, and that's exactly what happened in this game. And the Matthew Stafford era has officially began. Rams fans are excited, and unfortunately, national news or sports broadcasts are, they're giving the Rams a little tidbit, but for the most part, the narrative is, why didn't Justin Fields play? Justin Fields needs to be playing. Matt Nagy's lost his mind. He should be fired. But we're here to say that it doesn't matter who was at quarterback for the Bears last night. The Rams were going to win that game. They seen how dominant the NFC West was all day, and they knew they had to come out and make a statement. They had to stay in stride with the rest of the division. I mean, even the Cardinals look like a team that could win this division. So it's going to be a dogfight this year. And it's going to come down to whatever defense can get it together the most. And hopefully the Rams can clean up their tackling issues going forward now that they've got some real game reps underneath them, even though there was very few for the offense. The defense was on the field a lot. That's another issue. So they were getting tired. The Rams were dominated in time of possession in this game. But that's it, man. The Rams win. Matthew Stafford, he showed America what he's truly capable of. And we'll see what happens going forward. Is he going to keep it up? I hope so. I know you hope so. But I appreciate y'all riding with me today. I'm going to hit y'all up later. Peace.